Her Excellency the Vice President, His Lordship the Chief Justice, the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Ministers, Members of Parliament, His Grace the Archbishop Paul Somogere, we congratulate you on your nomination and installation. His Grace the Deputy Mufti, all our visitors from Congo, our brothers, karibu sana wa Congo, Wakongomani karibu sana nyumbani hapa. Tunawakaribisha. And ladies and gentlemen, members of the armed forces, commanders and militants, I would like to use this day of the 36th year since NRM came into government to congratulate all the members of the NRM and all the Ugandans on this day. Congratulations. We fought for very serious reasons, and that's why on this occasion some limited report should be given as to what has been achieved. The economy of Uganda now will be $44 billion in July. When we started, it was only $1.5 billion. This means that the economy has grown 29 times since that time in size. And in July, the GDP per capita will be about $980. That is very near the middle income status, which is $1,039. So in July, we shall be about $50 short of the middle income status. And we would have achieved the middle income status if it had not been for the corona. But in this Sanja, we shall definitely achieve it because we are near. This one, we have been developing in spite of the increase in the population. Because in 1986, population was on about 14 million. It is now 44.2 million. However, I'm not satisfied with this level of growth. It is high time to rapidly develop to high middle income status, not just low middle income status. I do not fully agree with our planners who keep talking of these rates of growth of 7%, 6%. We can grow rapidly to a much higher level. Why do I say this? I say this because some of the people have already achieved high middle income status at individual, homestead, or even area level. You find some areas of Uganda which are already in the high middle income level. I will for instance, take the example of the group near Fort Portal in the Rwengaju parish, led by Mr. Nyakana. Nyakana and the group are now earning 240 million shillings per year from just, I think, 2 acres or 1 acre. $240 million, 240 million shillings a year. Now, that if you put it in dollars, that's about $66,000. If you assume that a family has 5 members, then the per capita is $13,000 per person in those families. Now, if all of us were to wake up and follow what we have been telling you, just using agriculture alone, not taking into account the other sectors, because here I'm talking about just agriculture, our economy will not be $40-something billion. It will be $586 billion. It will be more than $500 billion, which is approaching countries like Turkey and so on. So therefore, on this occasion, this is what I'm demanding from especially the NRM leaders. We should not just go on being called leaders when we are leading nobody, we are not leading nobody anywhere, just running around. If these people can achieve this, if Nyakana and his group can achieve it, why not everybody else who has got land especially? I'm going to launch, I think tomorrow, I will launch the parish model, development model. This is what I will demand from all those involved. We cannot go on talking of this minimalist approach. We must take advantage of the full potential of the economy of Uganda. And in order to do this, I need to remind you of the way forward, the way we have been advising you for years now. The sectors of wealth creation are 4. From where you can get wealth and jobs. Sector 1, agriculture. This alone can push us to the middle income, to the high not low, but high middle income level. And in agriculture here, we need to be clear about the two modes of commercial production. One mode, intensive agriculture, where you use a small area to get high returns. In 2018, when I made a countrywide tour, I gave you a detailed guidance on this. It is written in a booklet entitled 4 sectors, 7 areas, 7 activities. Number 1, an acre of coffee, high colonial coffee. Number 2, an acre of fruits, selected fruits, which you know. Acre 3, dairy farming, pasture for dairy, for zero grazing. Acre 4, for food crop for the family, whatever you want to grow, cassava, whatever. In the backyard, poultry for eggs, pigs, and those who are near the wetlands, fish farming. I've told our people to look at other activities like vegetables, because I have not done the calculation there myself. But these are the ones we recommend for the people who have got 4 acres or less. Now, for the people with more land, more flexibility, because these 7 are not the only things we need in Uganda. We need cotton for our textile factories. We need tobacco, those who want to destroy their lungs. We must arrange for them also, so that they destroy their lungs using at least our local tobacco. Maize. We need maize. Maize is very important for very many other things. Sugar cane, avocado, tea. These are crops from which you cannot get enough money if you grow them in a small area. The country needs them, so they must be grown. But they must be grown by somebody who has got more land than the 4 acres. So here, we are talking of extensive agriculture. Therefore, please, intensive agriculture, we cannot go on beating about the bush. Just empty talk. Without giving clear guidance, researched guidance to the people. Make the people make mistakes because you don't give them enough guidance, because you have not done any research. You are just running up and down without any research. So that is sector 1. And that's where we can push the country to high middle income country just using agriculture alone. But agriculture alone cannot sustainably move if you don't add industry. Industry to add value, to process the fruits, process the cotton, process the milk, or process the tea, process the coffee, all those need to be processed. So that is sector two. Then services, tourism, hospitality. I was watching on TV, our grandchildren are now really drinking, that we have opened, they are just drinking like mad. So the drunkards are very happy now. That is all services. And then finally, ICT. So therefore, this time, I'm normally polite and talk, hoping that people will pick by themselves, especially the leaders. But this time, I'm really going to be even rude to people, because we are wasting a lot of time. We want Uganda to be a high, not just a low-level middle-income country, which we shall achieve for sure in 1 or 2 years. But to be high middle-income economy. We're already moving, because not only are we moving in agriculture, of course now we have a lot of products already. We have a lot of surplus of milk, surplus of maize, surplus of bananas, sugar, and so on. These are already in surplus. But we need more, and we shall be able to market them either within Uganda or in the region or internationally. Some people are talking of surplus maize. What shall we do with the maize? What shall we do with the sugar? The answers are there. If there is no regional market, then we can turn the sugar, we can turn the maize into petroleum, into ethanol. And the law is being worked on to force petrol companies to mix their petrol products with 20 or 25% of ethanol produced from our surplus maize or surplus sugar. So that issue of too much sugar, will be sorted out. If the regional people don't buy the sugar, we shall turn it into ethanol. Our cars will use it, and we shall knock out a big amount on the import bill. But our people, and I'm confident we can do this, because why? Because our people are now educated. The literacy rate is now 77%. All the children, many of the children in the villages are literate. But we have also got high-level scientists. So we are going into new areas of the economy, like the vehicle industry, the automotive industry. We are making our own buses now, our own cars, the electric car, making our own pickups, assembling all sorts of things here. The pathogenic economy, the one of vaccines and medicines, pharmaceuticals, all those, our people are very active and moving there. And in the other agro-processing industries, we are going to, apart from processing food, fibers like cotton, we are going to add forest products so that we produce our own paper instead of importing paper from bamboo, for instance, or trees, processing minerals, etc. So therefore, the journey forward is going to be serious, intense, but also profitable. Now, in the services sector, now that the corona has gone down, economy has been opened now, the tourists will be able to come. The entertainment, I saw them last night, they were really entertaining themselves. The hospitality industry, and so on. So therefore, this is the time now to go to another level. Don't continue talking about small things. Let's go to high, middle income level. Target an economy of $500 billion, not just a few billions, no. That's not enough. And I'm sure we can achieve it. Fortunately, we have negotiated with our brothers in Africa. There is the African continental market, common market. We have got market access to the United States products under AGOA, the European Union, China. So the markets are there if we produce the products of the right quality. We fought with Corona, as you saw. I want to thank Ugandans and congratulate them for listening to our advice to observe very strict restrictions for 2 years now. Congratulations. Abannayuganda nali bamanyi nti tewali kisobola kubalema kubanga nali mbakulembeddeko mu lutalo olw'emmundu kye twabawabulanga mwakikolanga naku luno mukikoze. Mwebale nnyo Abannayuganda, mwebale. These international media groups are not serious. You really wonder how people can be not serious. First of all, everybody was amazed about how Uganda observed serious lockdown for 2 years. Bona bakyewuunya. They wrote about it. BBC, Al Jazeera, I even heard some that New York Times and things like that. But what is amazing is that they miss the point. When they talk about the lockdown, they say, girls got pregnant in lockdown. This is what they are talking about. That's what they are talking about. Oh, girls got pregnant. Girls got pregnant. Being pregnant is not dying. You fellows, Al Jazeera, BBC, please, can you not understand that being pregnant, a young girl, is a complication, but it's not dying. The original problem, the one who were fighting, was dying on a big scale. And we succeeded. I don't know who took the cup in fighting corona in the world, but I think Uganda fared among the topmost. Because after 2 years, we have lost 3,000 something people who died. Some of the other people lost almost, some of them lost almost 1 million in one country, 1 million people who died in a year. Here, we are talking of 3,000 something. And those who have been infected all these years, 2 years, 160,000. If you watch what happens in other countries, 160,000 are infected in one day. So I congratulate Ugandans for listening to our advice. The children who got pregnant, we are going to discuss with the bishops. Some of them are here. We shall find a solution for them. There are some arguments. Should a child come with ortundu, in Nyankole they call it ortundu, when you are pregnant and the stomach is showing, it's called ortundu. Should the children come with ortundu in the school? That one I will discuss with the cabinet first and with the other people. Should the child come breastfeeding in the school? That one we shall again discuss quietly among ourselves. But what I can tell you straight away, what I will not agree to, whatever happens, is to condemn a child not to continue with her education because she got pregnant once. That one I cannot accept. I cannot accept. It is neither logical nor certainly religious. Because if the child had a problem or made a mistake, you cannot condemn her for all her life. So the rest, that one is the minimum, but I hear the religious leaders seem to be agreed on that. The only issue is about these other two, the breastfeeding and the rutundu, coming with the rutundu there in the classroom. I don't want to give my views on that because I want to hear the views of all the others, but I have some views also. But for the going back to school, the children will go back to school, to the government schools. They will go back because you cannot, if mature entrants, abakaikuru, abakaire, if they can go back to school and study when they are in their 40s, 50s, why can't the child go back to school and study after she has had a problem? But should she go with the rutundu? That one we shall discuss. Should she go breastfeeding? That one we shall discuss. But anyway, what was amazing for Al Jazeera and BBC was that in the lockdown, the only thing they were talking about were children who got pregnant. Bambi, these countries are really in trouble. They have got so much poor leadership. You pity them. What sort of people are these? People are dying and we're just talking about only this one. And they don't bring out that Uganda, because of the lockdown, they succeeded in minimizing the death. They don't talk about. They only talk about children who got pregnant. So I congratulate Ugandans. Thank you so much for passing the test. This was a test. This was a test, and we passed it reasonably well. Now, finally, as you can see, I'm glad that our brothers from Congo are here, from DRC. We are working together to stop that little problem of ADF. ADF is nothing. We shall defeat them. We defeated them here. They were from here. We defeated them. The LRA Kony were here, we defeated them. So they go to kill our brothers and sisters in Congo. They, once in a while they come and plant bombs here and kill some sheikhs. That one we, so I want to thank His Excellency President Tshisekedi for having us, allowed us to work with our brothers to finish that little problem. These children, these young children who had joined the ADF, they had got spoiled. 20 years killing people, looting people's things. You can imagine in Congo, that part of Congo, people there are very hardworking. They grow cocoa. They grow cocoa, among other things. So what was happening all these years is that when the cocoa would be ripe, the ADF would come and chase people and harvest the cocoa and sell it and get money. And they had business agents in the towns there, Beni, Goma, even here in Uganda, they had business agents who were selling the stolen coffee for them to get money, to live a good life, to send to their families, but also to buy materials to make bombs and so on. And also minerals, digging minerals and selling them. So we are working with the Congo government. It is easier to defeat these groups. It's not all that big problem. We have a long experience in doing it, and we shall defeat them. But you can see the problem which is happening now in more parts of Africa. The problem in West Africa started with the attack on Libya by the people. You remember I talked of some people on the inauguration here. I talked about some people who couldn't listen to Africa. They attacked Libya, and all the terrorist groups which were in Libya now spread out. In the whole of what they call the Sahel, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Now, I would like to really invite the African people, leaders, to sit down and we exchange views on how to build strength in Africa. We have some experience here. We can share it with others. Otherwise, what's happening now is going to take us back, because the civilian leaders failed to build strength, to build, for instance, strong armies. Then the terrorists come and take over the country. Then there is a military coup, like the ones which have happened in Guinea and Mali and now recently in Burkina Faso. Now, those soldiers are not accountable to anybody. Nobody elects them. So how can they do a better job? You remember what was happening here in the 1960s with Idi Amin and so on. Wasting time. We wasted a lot of time. Idi Amin wasted our 8 years. All the things, many of the things we were planning, you had to be abandoned. For instance, you remember by 1971, we had the East African Community. And it was moving well with Mzee Obote, Mzee Kenyatta, Mzee Kaunda. Actually, Kaunda was about to join the East African Community, Zambia. Even Somalia had applied. Now Idi Amin comes in. the community breaks up completely. So after 16 years of now having sorted out all that problem, that's when we come and bring back the community and so on and so forth. Now, DRC has now come in. We are beginning, but we would have been very far if Idi Amin had not wasted our time. But all these issues are easy, can be dealt with. I don't want to say easy because I don't know why people. But here, we have built some strength for sure. We have 6,000 soldiers in Somalia. They have done some limited work there because of the people we work with. We work with people who don't want to go far. They want to half cultivate the garden. They don't want the whole garden to be cultivated. They leave Urumbugu there. Why don't you uproot all this Urumbugu? Okay. Ati tunakola ki? Tubereyo Mogadishu tulima Urumbugu oli awo mu town. Katuli Urumbugu oli eri munda oluleke katusigareyo. So we are there, but we were able at least to deal with the towns in Mogadishu. And when His Excellency Tshisekedi allowed us, we were able to move. And we are going to move now. What we did was first phase, we call it, first phase. They really got punishment to those criminals. Tebawulira ngoko muliro ngogo wetwabasumulula. Ate n'okumanya tebamanyi. You know, this is the whole problem of Africa. Abantu abatalina kye bamanyi babeera awo ne beefuula ng'abalina kye bamanyi. Kati buno obwana okugenda walooka kampu ekikampi kyabwe kiri awo baali bakiyita kambi ya Yuwa. N'obeera awo simanyi kilomita meka kuva ku nsalo ya Uganda ne weefuula awo n'okolerawo effujjo n'otamanya nti lumu Katonda alikiriza Uganda n'ekusaanyaawo. Tebumanyi, they don't know. They don't know what war means. They talk about war, they don't know what war means. They don't even know how to fight. But Africa should not allow those novices to disturb our peace and our agenda. We shall get in touch with the West African leaders and see how to harmonize our thinking. So, with these few words, again I congratulate the Ugandans, the NRM people, on the 36 years of NRM management of the country, but even more on the earlier years of the struggle which you persecuted very well. Some of the correspondents in Uganda are beginning to be serious. I was reading some articles in Monitor. Monitor naye banange tandise okuwandiika ebirimu amagezi. Monitor mugimanyi? Monitor obusajja buli eyo bubadde bukola ebitotegerekeka naye kati olwaleero ndabite Katonda gyali. Monitor naye yawandiika ebirimu amagezi. In one page, I think it is, the inside page, I think it is 32 or 42, 32. I don't have time to. They were writing, you should go and read it. But I found it interesting. There's a boy called Faustin Mugabe. Mugabe yani. Awandika bulijjo. Now, he was writing in that supplement there inside, the recovery of the industry in Uganda. And he was talking about soap. Maybe I can see it. Let me see what I can see. Boraba monitor newandise kiruma amagezi omanya nti Katonda anaatera okujja. Oh, I may follow it. And away. On the page, on the supplements, page Roman 32. If you are Roman, mubimanyi. Aba Roma bawandikanga XXX, that means X is 10. Awozibeera bwe zibeera esatu zibeera asatu mu bbiri. Kati oyo omwami Mugabe, when the National Resistance Movement government came to power in January '86, production was very low. In the manufacturing section, all the factories were running after half capacity and below. Crop production was equally very low. But in the first 366 days under the NRM government, a lot of growth was recorded in production and exports, partially as a result of the peace restoration by the NRM government. Below are some of the records from production and exports of some crops extracted from the 1988-89 National Budget Report. Kati olaba kati monitor naye wandika ebirimu egezi. Kino kyakwewuunya nno. Oba Katonda akyaddeyo simanyi. Kati ne bawandiika soap production. Soap, sabuni, was one of the most scarce essential goods in Uganda when the NRM government came to power. In 1986, only 3,292 tons of soap, both for bathing and washing, was produced. But the following year, 15,879 tons were produced in the sole manufacture factory owned under Mukwano Industries in Kampala. So, soap production went from 3,000 tons a year to 16,000 tons. Monitor ebiwandiise nno. Kati bw'olaba ente eyogera ng'omuntu. Omanye nti Katonda azze. Kati owa monitor bw'avudde ku sabbuuni n'agenda ku batamiivu. Before 1986 and shortly thereafter, beer and soft drinks were often smuggled into the country from neighboring Kenya. Beer and soda beer and sodas were smuggled into Uganda because production in the factories was far less than the capacity production because of poor factory equipment, which often broke down and lacked spare parts, or because of poor management of the company. But with improved security in the country, beer production in the country was reportedly increased from 6.6 million litres in 1986 to 16.4 million the following year. Oyo ye monitor awandiise bino. Naye abiwandiise abijja mu mpapula za gavumenti eza budget ez'obudde obwo. N'olwekyo we have moved very well, but we need to move much more aggressively. We cannot be content with remaining where we are. With these few words, I congratulate you and I wish you good luck.